What's up? My name is Darryl Williams and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate 101. What is a real estate agent? Darryl Williams is a real estate agent, but that's not the real definition. The actual definition is a real estate broker or real estate agent or a realtor is a person who represents a seller or buyers of real estate or real property. While a broker may work independently, an agent usually works under a licensed broker to represent clients. Now, let me just break that down a little bit because there was a lot in that. I, Darryl Williams, am a licensed real estate agent or licensed real estate salesperson in New York City. I work under or hang my license with a brokerage. A brokerage is owned by a real estate broker, also known as the principal broker of the firm. Now, I can get my broker's license after 2 years of working as a real estate agent. And once I have my broker's license, I could, if I wish, to work independently and I don't have to hang my license with any specific firms. Now, most real estate agents don't choose to go out and start a brokerage. It's a lot of overhead, there's payroll, there's administrative stuff. So you don't usually start your own firm. You just hang your license with a brokerage. So that is the difference between a real estate agent and a real estate broker. Now, I can still get my broker's license, which I do plan to do, but I will still stay with the firm I am, and then I will be known as a licensed associate broker with the firm that I'm with. So I hope that makes sense and I didn't lose you. Now, quickly, just to touch on the point of a realtor, only people who are with the National Real Estate Association can be termed realtors. I am a real estate agent, and so are most people in New York City are just licensed real estate agent or licensed real estate brokers. But unless you're part of the National Real Estate Association, you're not known as a realtor. So just wanted to clarify that. When I just got my license, I didn't know that, and a colleague was like, you can't say you're a realtor because you're not part of this association. I was like, oh, I didn't know the difference. And now you know the difference. Person behind this screen is going to get their real estate license. All right, so that is the difference between a real estate agent and a real estate broker. Like you said, pretty much one and the same. One can work independent if they wish, the other has to hang their license with the firm, with the brokerage. What does a real estate agent do like on a day-to-day basis? Like my wife's friends ask that sometimes, like, what does Darryl do? Like, what does it mean? Like, I still don't get it. So I'm gonna break it down as simple as possible for you today in this video, what I do as a real estate agent. Now, as you saw in part of that definition, I represent both buyers and sellers of real estate or real property. So what does that mean? Say you come to me, it's like, hey Darryl, I'm thinking about buying a property. Can you help me out? So there, if I say yes, I'm gonna help you out because you asked for my services. You now hired me as your real estate agent to represent you and to advise you in all things real estate. Now, just so you know, as the buyer who's watching this, you do not pay me. You do not pay any real estate broker representing you in a sales transaction. My services are free. I only get paid if I do my job correctly and a contract happens and the deal gets closed, whereupon the seller pays a commission to both their agent and to me. We split it 50-50, it goes to each brokerage. So just remember that you do not pay for my services. I work for you for free as a real estate advisor or agent. I represent the buyer. Now we shop properties, I vet properties for them, I inquire about building financials if we're dealing with condos or co-ops. I set up the showings, I take them on showings. And then the most important part is I negotiate on behalf of my buyer. Now, just so you know, some people think they'll get a better deal if they don't use a real estate agent. I'm here to tell you it's not true. You should have a real estate agent represent you in a transaction as a buyer because we will negotiate on your behalf. Negotiations will go much better when you have a representation as if you were negotiating on your behalf because that agent represents the seller and works in the seller's best interest. Me, as your real estate agent, as your buyer's agent, which means I represent you as the buyer, I'm negotiating on your best interest on your behalf. So I negotiate for you, and if I do my job right, we have an accepted offer. If I haven't put you in contact with a real estate attorney yet, I would, but I would have done that from the time we've met because I do my job very well. I would put you in contact with the real estate attorney and get everything going. And then from there, I continue to monitor the transaction process, making sure if we're buying a co-op that you get all your stuff together for the board application to submit all that paperwork to me, and I'll put it together. Well, we have a transaction coordinator with our firm, which is really nice. So I actually don't have to physically put together the board package. Shout out to Laura. But I monitor that process as well. I'm in constant communication with you, with the attorneys, with the seller's agent throughout the entire process. If anything comes up, I schedule the final walkthrough with you, and if any changes need to be made or something wasn't done that the seller was supposed to do, then I go back and get that done for you, or get a rider included in the contract by talking to your attorney. But that is what I do every step of the way, okay? I guide you through the entire process from start to finish until closing. You have the keys and you invite me over for the housewarming for that property that I just got you a great deal on. So that is what I do as a real estate agent on the buy side. Now, as a real estate agent representing a seller, it's kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. I have a seller. I just sold her condo in Brooklyn. I pitched the property. She liked me, my vibe, whatever, she hired me. Now, as a listing agent, which again is still a real estate agent, I'm throwing a lot of terms at you. Listing agent is an agent who lists a property for sale on behalf of a seller, all right? Go in, I set up photography. If the place needs repainted, I make sure it gets repainted. Obviously, my seller is doing that, but I advise them in what they need to do to get their apartment ready for market. I pay for the marketing, I pay for the photography, the videography. Shout out to my videographer right now to come and film my listings and put it on the market. Then I set up open houses and showings and try to find a buyer for this property. If I get an offer, again, in negotiation, I'm representing my seller now in my seller's best interest to get my seller the price that they want on their property. And that is my job as a listing agent, or a seller, also known as the seller's agent, when I'm representing the seller in a real estate transaction. Again, I advise my seller whether they should counter, whether they should hold firm, whether they should come down, or whether they should accept that offer. And obviously I provide value for why they should accept that offer and why it's a good deal and they should jump on it right now. So that is what I do as a real estate agent. Now, obviously there's minutiae, there's paperwork that has to be done on a daily basis. There's emails that have to be sent, phone calls that have to be made. And also as a real estate agents, we're like, sometimes we're therapists. We have to listen. I've had emotional calls with buyers and who are about to cry or who are angry, and having to, talk them down, calm them down, and, so that they proceed with the transaction. But we play a lot of roles as a real estate agent, but I always like to say that your buying is guiding, whether a buyer through the process or seller through the process of selling their home, and advising them in the best way possible that benefits them. So just to rehash, real estate agent, real estate broker, both represent clients. A real estate agent has to hang their license with a brokerage under a broker. I could get my real estate license I could get my broker's license after 2 years working as a real estate agent and go independent if I wish. But if I don't, I stay with my firm as an associate broker. We represent buyers and sellers. We negotiate, we set up property tours, we advise with the lenders, we advise with the real estate attorneys, we make sure all parties are doing what they're supposed to do, we complete board applications, we submit board applications, we set up properties for videos, etc. We do a lot, and as a real estate agents, we're not just arm candy, as some people might think. We play an important function in making sure that you, the buyer or seller, get the best deal for the property that you want. So, thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video.